Hi, I'm Lay with LayShidell.com, and I'm here today because I have a training for you. We're going to take a look at Aweber, and I'm going to show you how to create a list, and then I'm going to show you how to use it to create a sign-up or an opt-in form. And so I'm going to get started by taking you over here to see my screen, and whoops, wrong screen. Okay. So that's the screen we're at here. I'll remove this. Okay, and so here we are to log in for Aweber. And I'm going to go ahead and just log in. So if you don't have an account, you'll want to create an account. Now, Aweber is $19 a month to utilize this. It's an autoresponder for your email system, but it also does other things. It'll manage those emails for you. You can set up different lists for different things that you have going on, and you can use different opt-in forms that could go on a web page and some different sites. We'll take a look at some of that information in a few minutes. So now we're looking at the dashboard of Aweber, and what we have in the very top band here are current lists and manage lists, my apps, help, and your login information about your account. So what we're going to take a look here is manage lists. So I'm going to hover that and click on it. And when I do, I get a new page. And we're going to click on create a list because that's what we want to do, is create a new list. When this window comes up, what we're going to do is populate the information here. And as you can see, because I already have some basic information set up for my account, and you can do that in the account background, I already have my company name and my web address is already listed. And so then at the next item that is to put your address. Now, if you don't understand why, part of the rules of email, when you're working with an email at all, you need to provide a real physical address for yourself for email. And there is a link here that's under this explain this, and you can click on that and you can get the details so you can understand the legalities of why you have to provide this. This is set up for my home address, which is also what I use for my business address. If you're using a different address, perhaps a post office address or some such, if you're allowed to. I'm not sure what the legalities are on that, but if you're going to use a different address, this is where you would click on this and then provide that information. And then it asks us what information from the sender that we want. What is their name and what is their email address? And then we just click on the next. So what do we want to call this list? Well, for me, this list is going to be, that I'm going to demonstrate for you, is going to be for a PDF giveaway that I have. So I'm going to call the list name Video Giveaway, just so I know exactly what it is. And then what is it exactly? It is a PDF. It's a 50-page PDF about video marketing campaigns. And then we'll scroll down on the right-hand side here. And you can see that's all it asks for here. So we're going to go ahead and continue to the next step. If we found ourselves on this page and felt we weren't ready to create that list, we could go ahead and move back by clicking go back. We're going to go ahead and click next step. And then as you can see, this is about approving your confirmation message. So once they say that they are going to opt in, you can choose what type of pre-approved subject is in the message that they received. And this is, for me, set to confirm your subscription. Now, you have a couple of choices here, and I'll show these to you. These are our choices. Response required. Please confirm your request for information, or confirm your request for information, or confirm your subscription. Or you can add, and this is code here, where it inserts their first name and says confirm your subscription. So you can select which one you want it to start out with. I just have mine saying confirm your subscription. If you're not happy with any of those, you can request approval for a custom subject line. You can be assured that that's going to take you at least a 24-hour process to get an approval before you'll be able to use that. I prefer to just go ahead and go with one that's pre-approved. So as you can see, this is the body of the confirmation message. And if you want to edit this piece that's highlighted right now, you will just click this edit, and it takes you in. Now you can see it's surrounded with a box. You can insert personalization by clicking on there. This adds actual code. You can place that in the exact spot that you want it. I'm not going to add any personalization, but that's how you would do that if you're wanting to add that. Once you get this set the way you want it exactly worded, you'll just click on that and hit enter. Oh, I'm sorry, hit enter. Let's see. Edit. I don't see where I need to update it. One moment. Okay, so then you just finish that. And if you want to alter, the center part is fixed for you, and it's automatically set up by Aweber. So the last part is your closing, and if you want to edit that, you can go ahead here. You could edit, you can add personalization again. So if you wanted to say thank you and their name, you would be able to do that. So we're not going to add any personalization here, but if you wanted to move back, because you'd moved into this step and weren't ready to, you could go back. But we're going to go ahead and approve this the way we have it set up. And it's going to take us to the next page. Okay, so now it's going to, we've created a list. And you can see in this top blue band that our current list is the video giveaway. That's what we just created. So now this is where you could create your email messages. But this isn't what we're going to do in this specific training. In this training, what I'm going to teach you how to do is go to your list options. We're going to populate the list option, and then we're going to create a web form from there. So you can see that when we clicked on that list options, it takes us here. And the first item that we have are basic settings. And so then we already have our name populated as we gave it the name, and that is required. They're showing you here that it is required. And then the description, and it's already filled in because we put in this information. So this part is already filled in for us, as you can see when we scroll. Again, you have one more chance to change this address if this isn't what you're wanting to use. When the notification goes out, if you're, let's see, when a person actually subscribes, you can choose to receive a notification every time someone subscribes to your list. I find this to be an interruption in my day, and I don't need to know every time someone signs up for the list. I will see in my email that this has been accomplished, so I don't need an additional piece of information. When they've gone to my website, I'll know that they've been there. If you're needing notification, this is where you can add your name, an email address, and then just click add. After you finish that, we're just going to click Save Settings, and that's going to move us to the next step. Okay, so we're going to move back to the top, and now we're going to personalize our list. So we're going to click on Personalize the List. Okay. Your company name, again, is already there, and your website. If you're going to use an email signature, if you want to sign it the same way all the time, if you want to say, cheers to your success, and then give your name, this is where you can assign a specific email signature every time that you do your email. Also here, if you're interested, you can upload a logo here. So you would just click the upload your logo, navigate to the place on your computer where it's located, and you're just going to add that in. Now the next section is for social media sharing. And this is so that you can integrate with Twitter or Facebook and customize your broadcast archives. So what this means is that when I provide information to my list, I can tweet a broadcast at the same time. So what you do here is you just connect with your account. So I clicked on that. I navigate to my account handle and enter that information. Then I went down to the same thing to connect with Facebook if I'm wanting to use Facebook. I'm not using mine on this, but I do use my Twitter account here. Okay, you'll see that you have broadcast archive settings. I just leave everything that's set here the way it is. And if you have never seen an unsubscribe page for Aweber, you can preview your unsubscribe page, and this is basically what it looks like. I did click on it, and this is what it would look like if the user clicks on unsubscribe at the bottom of your email. This is the type of layout that they see, and they can unsubscribe themselves, and then they can save those settings, which basically has taken them out. And so then I'm going to close this window and go back. And then there are also global text snippets. This is a convenient way to change information in many messages at one time. So if you utilize this, let's say we're going to use a snippet for, let's see, let's take a look. It tells us here what exactly are the snippet texts that we can use. So you just click on that link, and it goes through and it takes you through a step-by-step instructions on how to utilize this. But basically you use a keyword, and then everywhere you use that keyword, if you change something about the settings, let's say an address, every time it sees that word address, it's going to update all of the information to the newest address that's used. And so this is just a run through. If you scroll on the right hand side, this shows you how to utilize all of this, how to create a snippet, like say for domain. If domain is the snippet that you're going to use, then here is the information that's going to be provided every time you use the word domain. So now let's say that you change domain names for one reason or another. Now you can just add a new domain name, click add, and it's going to update this link here to this word domain everywhere you use that, because that word domain is actually a piece of code. And so what they've done is made it easy for you to make adjustments. And this all walks you through the entire step about how to use those snippets within your information on the lists. And so then after you've done that, if you choose to use a snippet, you would go through that process, add your snippet here by clicking on the add, and then save settings. Okay, and then once we've done that, we're going to scroll back to the top of the page again. And the last step is for your confirmation message. So you're going to click on that. And if it's turned on, then you have what they call a double opt-in. In certain countries and in certain areas, this is a requirement. In order to do business within the rules and regulations of those countries or those certain organizations, you're required to provide a double opt-in. What does that mean? That means they click on the button to say, yes, I want it. And then they are directed to receive an email. They go pick up the email. It forces them to click on some information, follow that forward to a link, and it verifies again that they really want to be part of whatever they have signed up for. And so I highly recommend using double opt-ins merely because it keeps you legal within all of the different areas that you might be doing your business. Additionally, here you're able to select your language. It's just a drop-down box to the far right-hand side of this choice. You just click on that and you can see you have choices to scroll through. The next is your subject line, and again, you can choose a pre-approved one. That means if I choose something they've already pre-approved, I can use it today. I can run with it in a few minutes when I've got it set up. And I use the drop down arrow on the far right. It allows me to choose from the options that they have here. And they do have a couple that allow you to personalize with names. If you want to request a customize, just go ahead and click on this link, submit your request, and it will take about 24 hours, perhaps a little longer, before you'll get an approval. And you won't be able to use the information contained within until you receive that approval. And again, here's our message context where you can add, and then you just click on this entire thing to edit it. You'll do whatever editing that you want to this. This is how it's set up now. It's fine with me the way it's set up. And so then I would just click this edit message or on the unit itself to edit and save the information then. Okay, then I come to the confirmation settings. And we strongly recommend leaving the confirmed option. And this is what I was just talking about for you because of the legalities. I highly recommend leaving this set to an on position so that people are forced to do a confirmation. Aweber automatically sends that to their email for you, and they just have to follow it. If they don't follow it, they aren't actually added to your list. They're kind of in a pending or tentative position, and unless they verify it, they aren't really part of your list. There's also an option to send a confirmation message for subscribers when you do an import. Unless you already have a large email list already being housed through another program that you're utilizing, most likely you don't have imports. But if you do have an import list, you can turn this on. And what that does is when you add them to the import, Aweber automatically sets them up with an email, which is sent for them to confirm that they want to be part of this new list. Then the confirmation success page. This is what do you want to happen when they have confirmed. There's a default success page that you can see here, or if you have your own website, and I do, I have a thank you page that I send them to by just adding that URL link to my website page. And then you can personalize with a custom success page with subscriber information and such. If you want to do that, that would allow you to add the code again for personalization. I just fly with it the way it is. So then I just click the save the settings. So then we're moving forward. And this time we're going back to the top. Okay. We've got all of those done, and actually this is ready to utilize now. So our full list options have all been set up for this video giveaway. So the next thing I'm going to walk you through is how to create a web form. A web form, also called a sign-up form. So a couple of lines below the blue line we were on, a black line here. These are menu options, and we're going to hover the sign up forms, and you'll see that it gets darker, goes off. Each gets darker when I hover it. So I'm going to come back to the sign up forms, left click on that, and when I do, it actually is going to open another window which is called sign up forms, and we're going to create our first sign up form. There's a video there for you if you're feeling uncomfortable with this walk. video of what I've done, you're able to easily just go back. I believe there's a back button. No, yes, no, there isn't here. So you would just use your browser back, one step back right here, and that would take you back to that. You could watch that video in case I move too quickly here for you. I'm just going to show you a single option, but I'm going to show you where you make the choices. So what we have here when we're looking at are some fields that are automatically set up that I can show you how we'll adjust or create a field. These are the types of templates that are available. Aweber's already done all the work for you, so this is just a matter of selecting the options that you need. These would be the popular ones that are available. Those all have some this is an invisible checkerboard background. Always means that that's transparent background. And so what you see are the button, the words, and these boxes for filling in, but it would be on your background picture, whatever that you have there. And then this is an actual box with these colors that you see, same here, same there as on each one of these. These on the left side, I clicked new. These are the newer fashions choices that you have, and there are more. If we click on the right hand side, there were more. If we go back on the left, this one, it takes us back to the first ones. Back in the template list, these are my templates. These are ones that I've used in the past. We're not going to cover these at this moment. But once you create one, you will have your own templates, and they will be under my templates. It would be whatever we've created in the past. And then there are some corporate style options for you to utilize here. And again, you can go further and see other ones, and there are more options, and then a few more. And so I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to go to the popular. And I'm just going to, for the sake of whatever, I'm picking modern. That's the one I want to pick. After you pick the template, you'll see here, and I'm going to scroll down on the right-hand side a bit so that you can see the full thing. We have different color options. So what we have here are blue and dark black with white. We have gold with, or it says orange. It looks kind of goldish to me. Gold and black. We have purple and black. We have black on black. We have gray on black. Teal on teal. We have red with black. I think I'll leave it with red with black. I just like that one for the example here. And you just load the template, and it's going to load it up down here for us like it looks there. Should be loading it. Oh, I didn't click hard enough. There we go. Now we have it up there. So we have an actual form, and if you were happy with it just like it is, we could use this exactly as it is. But what I really teach is to simplify this as much as possible. So what I'm going to do to this is modify what we have existing. And if I hover the edit header here, that's this top band section up here, and I just click on that, this would allow me to add text. So if I wanted to add that this was your PDF giveaway, I could add that here. Whoops, don't add and return unless you want that, and save the field. Now you can see that it's listed there. It's very dark, however. So I'm going to edit it again. And when I do, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to pick up this text. I'm going to click and then drag across it, click again so that it's highlighted, and then I am going to change the font color. I thought I was going to change the font color. This one I believe is color. That's the color. And so right now I believe it's set to black. So how about we pick white so that we can see it? And there it is. Okay, and now we're going to save the field. I could also, if I didn't want that there at all, I just want to show you that I could actually delete that header altogether, and you see it went away. Now it became more simple, but I still have my red text, the name, but I'm going to leave that. If I wanted it to say perhaps full name, I could edit it here, and it says name. I could add full name and a space. save the field, and you can see it changed it here. Now we have email, same thing. You have that opportunity to edit it. If you wanted a different field here, you could edit what you wanted. Most forms we want a name and an email. If you wanted to edit, you could do that. If you opened edit and didn't want it, just close it. Okay, you have a button here. You can edit the button. It says submit. If you don't want submit, you could switch it to an HTML button and then write whatever you want on it. What might I say? Subscribe. Maybe it's a subscription list you have. I know this isn't really, but I'm just trying to show you demonstrations how to use this. So we're going to go save field. So if you were really subscribing to a list, that's what we could do here. Really what we are doing, having them do is sign up to receive a free ebook. Okay, we respect your right to email privacy. This is a good idea, and a lot of people want to see this or they won't send it at all. Aweber's already done this for you, but if you're wanting to make it more simple, you can just edit here. We clicked on the edit, and then you can just come over and click the X, and that would take that off for you if you wanted to do that. And again, you could hover this one. If you don't want to advertise to everybody that you're using Aweber, you can just go over to the right and click X, and that removes it. And to edit the footer, the same thing. If you didn't want to use up all that space and everything, you just use a smaller space on your form. We can make this as small as possible. And the last option we have here is to resize. And the resize is going to only adjust the width only of the box. So as you see, as I push back, it gets narrower. And so based on the amount of space you have, you might want to adjust this to somewhat. Once you have all of these things set here, there are advanced options. I will cover these things in another training. This is already going to be considerably long as it is. And so you're just going to click Save Your Form. Okay, so now what's going to happen is in the next training, I'm actually going to show you how and where you can use this form. But we're going to go to the settings right now and finish the settings on this. And so we have our form name is set to my web form. That's fine for me for this. Maybe not. I think I'll set it to PDF video giveaway form for me. You can name it whatever you want. This is for your personal use. And the thank you, they're going to see though, this are the form properties that are going to be seen. And so it's helpful to make sure that the customer can see, or the subscriber, whomever your audience is, can see what it is that they're filling out for. And this is for the thank you page. There's a basic version already set up for you. You can select to insert an audio piece yourself. You could do a video. You can add a custom page by adding it to your website as a page and then just insert the URL to that page here, or you can stay on the current page and you can preview what exists here. So if you're going with the basic version, this is the basic version. This is what it tells them. It gives them an actual link here to click, and they click that link, and then it provides the confirmation to that. So I'm going to close that window. We're going to go back to where we were, and if they've already subscribed to your page, this has a basic version that it will send out for them, or you can send a custom link on, which is another page on your website that tells them specifically, you've already subscribed to my page. Thanks a lot for your interest, but you're already part of this organization, or something to that effect. And then if we're not going to go into the details of advanced settings, but those are where you would find them. And at that point, we're going to save our form first. And after we have saved the form, we're going to go back to the bottom and go to step 3, which is to publish. And publishing is a real quick thing really here. Either you're going to install the form yourself, which is the first option. If you're going to do this, I hope you're very comfortable utilizing HTML code and you have access to edit all of your website pages by yourself without help. Otherwise, you're going to have difficulties here. Okay, if you're not the one doing it, let's say you have a web designer that you're already paying and they're doing all of the work for you on your website, then you will click this option. They will give you the information that you need to cut and paste and instructions that you need to provide to your web designer. And the last choice would be to have Aweber host my form. And that's usually what I do. It's the easiest piece to just have them host it for you. It's real easy. They're going to give you a link to utilize. I'll click on that choice. And you're going to see here, as we scroll down on the right-hand side, we have a link here. And all we have to do is copy that link. And when you've copied that, you can paste that. When you paste that, that form is going to appear where you're pasting that link. I hope you found some value in this training. I look forward to bringing you some more training in the future. I appreciate your spending your time with me. I know you could be anywhere you chose to be, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. Thanks a lot. You have a great day. Bye-bye.